Good evening, friends, and welcome to yet another session of Candid Meena. We just finished a wonderful session with Dr. Ganesh Bokre on whether AI is a very big threat to humanity in terms of grabbing jobs or even killing people in warfare, and or even completely eliminating humanity, just like what we see in films like Terminator and other sci-fi films. So that is a very interesting session which we had, and
And in
do
fact,
make sure to check the
I'm sure,
podcast.
yeah, in fact, I'm sure you would have watched the press conference done by robos, in Geneva, where different kinds of robos were presented and answered the questions of media. So, which came across as very, very interesting, but at the same time, quite frightening as well. So, we did discuss that with Dr. Ganesh Bokre. So, in case you'd like to follow up on that session as well. Yes, back to you, Jale.
So, friends, if you do like our content, make sure to hit that like button and share it with your friends. And that's the only way in which many people, especially youngsters, they are aware of what is really, really happening. What kind of especially the bad stuff in terms of the film industry, and also the kind of businesses in which the film industry is involved, and the way they're exploiting the young people, the young generation, both physically, mentally, and also in other ways. So the only way is to share the videos and spread awareness to as many people as you can.
Yeah.
So welcome, Amy. Welcome, Sunita ji. Welcome, Gayatri. Sharing
So, in fact,
two Indian
before we start,
Sunita
Jaydev, I would
here.
just like to talk about an incident that happened in Manipur 2 months, almost 1.5 or 2 months back. I think it was in May. And that was where, the crowds actually, they disrobed, a pair of sisters and they gang raped them. This was the public. Now, see, as you know, there has been terrible violence happening in Manipur. And this is all politically instigated. It's very clear from outside. And you can make out that, see, it is a incident that is meant to provoke the Modi government. And also, see, can you imagine? See, it is your state, and you are abusing your own sisters from your own state. So it reflects badly on the political people who are pushing this kind of strategy in their state. Can you imagine two young innocent girls being paraded naked and then gang raped, which means it is bad for their youth. So what the chief minister has done is brilliant. I mean, they have been identified and the main culprit has been caught, and they will now be cross-questioned. And he has also mentioned that he would like to give them a sentence of death by hanging. You know, so this is something that the chief minister has said, to which I feel that it is absolutely important that this sort of fear should be put in the minds of people who think they can be used by political figures to do whatever they please. So these are things to defame our prime minister, who has achieved so many accolades from all over the world. And this, you remember, this is the same thing that happened years back in UP, where sisters were gang raped and hung on trees. So these are all politically motivated things which they are doing to their own sisters and brothers. So it's very shameful, friends, and we should stand against these Western forces that are trying to destroy the unity of India. And here you have, Mirabai Chan, who's saying, Modi ji, please save Manipur. As you know, Modi ji is a man of peace, and he would never do anything to aggravate anything. And this is something that's everybody knows. The farmers' agitation, the Shaheen Bagh, everything has been coming from outside funds to destroy India. To overthrow Modi, just like they overthrow Trump. So let this not happen in India. So this is my strong message to all the viewers who understand this, and please share this message. Yeah, back to you, Jenny.
Yeah, so friends, coming to the next piece of news, and yes, it's
Yeah,
very
here I would
interesting
like
that
to. Yeah, here I'd like to talk about this story. And friends, we've been talking about fake at least alleged fake weddings for a long time, and how everything seems to be fake, even faking pregnancy, okay, and faking everything from the honeymoon to everything. Okay, now all of you have also understood the kind of gravity of this situation. This is to get gifts which are then not taxed, and again the cabal makes money on that. So every faction, whether it is a wedding designer like Manish Malhotra, makes profit out of that. Everybody, including the luxury cars. Okay, now here Kangana herself has made a comment on the fake marriage of a certain person. So let me just read that out for you. Yeah. So let's go to the first one. She says, this is what happens when you marry for movie promotional money work and not for love. This actor who married under the pressure of a mafia daddy was promised a movie trilogy in return for marrying Papa's Papa Ki Pari. You have already understood who she's talking about. Movie trilogy has been canned, and now he is desperately trying to break free from the fake marriage. But sadly, no takers for him now. He must focus on his wife and daughter. This is India. Okay, बार शादी हो गई तो हो गई, एक बार शादी हो गई तो हो गई. Okay, now let us look at the next message that she has given. In another news, a Farzi husband-wife Jodi who lives on separate floors and pretend to be couples are spreading fake news about movie announcements which aren't being made, also calling a brand owned by Mintra their own. Besides, no one wrote about how wife and daughter were snubbed from a recent family trip, while so-called husband was texting me, begging me to meet him. Okay, so now here, friends, it's very clear that what we have predicted, okay, what we have predicted is absolutely true. And these are all meant to attract money, and to show that they're all hunky dory and Bollywood is going on fine, and each one benefits the other. So we had looked at all these marriages, and you see that after the marriage they're never seen together. Never. It is only photo ops that they have where I think photo shoots are done where they're shown together. So this itself is such a, what you call a farce. Kangana who is known for making controversial statements, on Wednesday took to social media to speak about fake marriages and fake couples. Although she did not mention any names in her Insta stories, speculations arrived that she was referring to actors Ranbir Kapoor and Alia Bhatt. Now, she went in a rage by pointing out identical headlines in various media outlets, implying that the couple may be using mass mail to promote their projects. She also accused them of fabricating stories and claiming ownership of a brand that they did not own. She wrote, how come all the papers have the same headline everywhere? This is called bulk mass mail. Dear Changu Mangu, if it is hurting so bad, then praying for you, Bhagwan aapki atma ko shanti de. In the next story, she said in another news, which I just read out now, a fuzzy husband, wife Jodi, who live on separate floors and pretend to be a couple, are spreading fake news about movie announcements which aren't being made, also calling a brand owned by Mintra their own. Besides, no one wrote about how wife and daughter were snubbed from a recent family trip, while the so-called husband was texting me, begging and pleading to meet him. This fuzzy Jodi needs to be exposed. She also added, this is what happens when you marry for movie promotions, money, work, and not for love. This actor who married under the pressure of Mafia Daddy was promised a movie trilogy in return for marrying Papa Ki Pari. Movie trilogy has been canned. Now he's desperately trying to break free from the fake marriage. But sadly, no takers. He must focus on his wife and daughter. This is India. Ek baar shadi ho gayi to ho gayi. Sudhar jao. On the professional front, Kangana is coming up with a performance in Chandramukhi 2 and Tejas. So here, see, what I find really surprising is that, see, whenever Kangana needs, attention or PR, she'll come out with these exposés. And I'm not saying that these exposés are not true. It is very much very true because she has the guts to expose them, But the fact is that we knew this much before she spoke about it. And we'd already talked about the kind of gifts they get And with Salman Khan giving diamond rings and Shah Rukh Khan giving, Audis and Porsches, there seems to be something terribly wrong with these fake weddings. And how you see so many incidents where Katrina Kaif is asking Gauri Khan to make her terrace beautiful, refurbish it, but nowhere in sight is her husband. So we all know they're living separately and they're living separate lives. This is only for PR purposes that they come together. This is the same thing with Kiara. And you see that, and to whenever they find that the public are suspecting this, they'll come out with some news. Like recently, Alia said that, see, I was so much in love with Ranveer, I wanted to only marry him. And Kiara coming out with something like, see, she and her mother-in-law share the best kind of rapport that anybody can have. And then you have Vicky talking about, during the wedding, people could make out the difference between who is the bride and who bride's family and who is the bridegroom's family because of the change in status, is what he meant. So these are all things that we've already spoken about. So let me just take a few
Yeah,
comments.
see, I would like to add very important point. We have discussed, contract marriages on Candid Meena in the past, and a very important point which I would like to highlight is that all these fake contract marriages are done with also the sole purpose of since any wedding gift which is received, during these weddings, they are not taxable. So when there's no tax on these wedding gifts, right? It is so attractive for this Bollywood ecosystem to somehow, make their black money white or whatever, and they will tell this particular couple that, okay, here is this, very posh real estate or posh flat in the top locations in Mumbai, Andheri or wherever. You have the sea-facing flat, right? And then we'll give this to you as a wedding gift because the wedding gifts are not taxable, right, according to the Income Tax Act. And then these are the various ways in which money is made into white and everything. So there's a very big avenue also for making black money white.
We all thought that there was no love in Ranveer's eyes. It was only fear, and he seemed uncomfortable mostly, even initially too, says Sunita. In fact, Sunita, see, you will notice that, see, there was news that, see, Ranveer had transferred a lot of his money into his mother's account, fearing that if the marriage breaks, Alia will not get his money. So that's one thing. Second thing is, you remember the number of times this woman, this Alia Bhatt, would adjust her tummy, which was just a pillow. It would go up and down. Sometimes it would not be there. She would come out with a flat stomach. Sometimes she would wear stilettos, and we would just wonder how a heavily pregnant woman could give birth to a child, wearing stilettos. I mean, it's discomfort for their feet. Then it was said that she was 3 months pregnant when she got married. So all these sort of rumors were there. So there's something very, very fishy in these weddings. And earlier, Ranveer had no fear of Alia, but the moment he got married, you can see the fear in his eyes, and the fact that he agrees to everything that she says, mainly because he's scared of her father. So let us take Mahati. At least they could have asked Sanjay Bansari how to monetize these weddings, and he should have spun out a few DDLJs and QSQT movies with big gala Marwadi styled wedding scenes. Meera ma'am, Salman Khan several flops. So where does he get the money for diamond rings to give these women in his lives? Total boycott Bollywood. आरके ने शादी प्रेशर में की है क्योंकि आलिया got. Yes.
I agree.
Yeah, the only channel
Nice.
exposing the truth day and night. Thank you, Sensible. Bollywood full of culture, less lifeless people, but blowing out fake celebrations. Welcome, Maya.
Welcome.
Watching this show after a long time. Thank you so much, Maya, for rejoining. Welcome, Hema. Yes, back to you, Jerry.
Yeah, and we spoke about the obvious. tax benefit for wedding gifts in these contract marriages. And as well as, don't forget the fact that during a Bollywood wedding, each and everything is sponsored. For example, the hotel venue in which they are having the wedding, that is completely sponsored by that particular hotel chain, right? Because it is
In fact,
free
this was very
advertisement
clear.
for them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
in fact, this was very clear in the Mauni Roy wedding, where she showed everything right from her shoes, in her Instagram, so that see they got credit. The advertisers got credit for each and every piece that she wore or she walked on, the hotel that they stayed in. So she had to pay credits to all of them because they paid for the whole thing. So these are all, just what you call sponsored things. It's like a sponsored event you know and then you have the sponsored honeymoon in Maldives, that is also sponsored. So everything is sponsored. They don't spend even 5 rupees out of their own pocket. That's how stingy these Bollywood people are. Mahathi
Yeah.
says, while all these things are going on in Bollywood, some news from Hollywood is that they're all in complete doldrums because their greed keeps growing even though they lack good original content.
So you can imagine the kind of things which are involved in the wedding, like the bridegroom is wearing Manish Malhotra dress, and the bride is wearing some famous designer's dress. So it's all free advertisement for that those particular brands, as well as the jewelry, the hotel, and many more things, which is free advertisement for all these various brands. And that's how the whole game is played in Bollywood, and that's the
Yeah.
reason why most of the brands, be it hotels, be it jewelry, be it dresses, be it garments, you will mostly have
So
some film celebrity endorsing, being the face or brand ambassador of those brands, and not a normal face.
Uh, So
Yeah.
the latest breaking news is that the High Court frowns on media report in Samir Wankre case, asks who is leaking CBI information. The High Court sought to know who was leaking such information. A divisional bench of the Justices A.S. Gadkari and S.G. Digge said the media reports have said the information is from the CBI. Now, the Media High Court on Thursday frowned on media reports pertaining to witnesses who will be summoned in the CBI probe against IRS officer Samir Wankade on charges of extortion and bribery in connection with the cruise ship drug bust case. The High Court sought to know who was leaking such information. A divisional bench of justices, A.S. Gadkari and S.G. Digge, said the media reports have said the information is from CBI. The bench was hearing a petition filed by Wankade, former zonal director of Mumbai unit of NCV, for the CBI case against him to be quashed. As per the CBI, Wankade and 4 other accused had demanded 25 crore bribe from actor Shah Rukh Khan for not framing his son Aryan Khan following the alleged seizure of drugs from a cruise ship. In May, the HC provided Wankade interim protection from coercive action in the case. On Thursday, Wankade's counsel, Abad Punda, told the court a news report has revealed the witnesses that would be summoned in the case by CBI. Following court directions passed earlier, Wankade has given an undertaking that he would not speak to the media or reveal any probe related information. The reason being this is a sensitive case, but the same sanctity should be maintained from the other side too, Ponda said. Advocate Kuldeep Patil, appearing for the CBI, said no officer from the CBI had revealed anything to media. The HC bench, however, questioned how the press knew which witness was going to be summoned. The rule made applicable to the petitioner is equally applicable to you, CBI. Tell us who is informing the press. A press reporter publishes something with some responsibility. It's not done casually, the report said. The report says CBI source, and this is what the Justice Gadkari said. Now, Kuldeep Patel also said Solicitor General Tushar Mehta would be appearing in the case for CBI. The court then posted the matter for hearing on July 21st. Wankade and the other accused in the case have been booked for criminal conspiracy and extortion threats under the Indian Penal Code and provisions of the Prevention of Corruption Act for bribery. Now, the NCP has set up a special team to carry out an inquiry into the case against its own officers. So you see how CBI is playing a game, you know, and this is really very worrying. And the judges have pulled them up for it.
Yeah, so I do hope. Let's hope that things go in favor for Samir Wankade ji in due course of time, and that justice is served, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, we are talking
Bollywood
about a
people,
very long fight in this case. And Samir Wankade, I remember, he made an amendment saying that even the person who is giving the bribe is equally at fault, right, according to the Indian laws. And the High Court, admitted, I mean, allowed that amendment in the petition, and we'll have to wait and see how this case progresses. Bollywood people itself is event managed by mafia. Yes, indeed, true Indian. If you're not playing by the rules of the mafia or the ecosystem, you don't get any roles. Imagine this for a second. Hollywood TV writers make $250,000 a year for 40 weeks of work, and they want still more. They are on a strike. Apparently, the new film, what is it called, The Sound of Freedom?
yes.
Uh, Yes, so that has made a lot of ripples in the Hollywood movie ecosystem because that film openly talks about child trafficking, and many it exposes many of the things in which Hollywood is involved with. Yes, Sound of Freedom. Yes, the film Sound of Freedom has created a lot of sort of boycott, I would say, from the Hollywood directors and the Hollywood fraternity, because it exposes a lot of things Hollywood is involved in, just like how Bollywood is involved in. So.
Sunita
Welcome,
says,
Rachel. Yeah.
yeah, me, ma'am, even during Brahmastra promotions in her local channel, both Ranveer and Alia played some kind of game as told. You must see how bossy she was all over the show. It was quite shocking. Ushma says, welcome, and a true Indian. And you have Diksha. So True Indian says, we are going around and round in circles by agencies legally. Hope we break the chain with all to be proved facts soon on the table and fix the culprits. We appreciate Kangana exposing them, but at the end of it, she's one of them, says Narendra. Yes, Kaur. Welcome, Maya. Our combined prayers can't go in vain, says Rachel Thomas. Yes, sound of freedom. Absolutely. Won't trust Kangana again. Sound of Freedom is exposing Hollywood like anything. Some TV actors have no role, they only show gym pictures and video. Ma'am and Jaydev, could you focus on the loss the public faces as corrupt people swindle with taxes? Yes, this is something we should take up sensible life. Absolutely. We have to take that one very cautiously too, because sometimes even the right wingers come up with some extreme stories and we can't believe them 100% either. Sound of Freedom has exposed Oprah Winfrey too, her NGO in Africa being a front for grooming girls. And you know also her friend in India, Maya. Thank you. Thank Lord, I had never managed to go to Bollywood. Had a dream when I was young to go to Bollywood as I was so fascinated by Bollywood dance. Seriously, thank God. Bollywood is literally a world of nakedness. Alia is the cute, sweet, but controlling mafia successor of the Butt film family, and spineless Ranbir is nothing in front of anybody, says Sensible Life. Hi, all are stage shows, plastic smiles and feelings. What life? Yeah, Kangana is right, but she is also a chameleon. The ambassador for UNICEF, yes. Minaji, Kangana cannot be trusted, yes. Oh my gosh, must be banned as it, yeah, oh my god, too, must be banned as it mocks Mahadev. Why they connected with sex education with Lord? Absolutely. Bollywood is dubious. Yes. Yeah,
So
conclude.
very interesting to note that this Sound of Freedom, it's creating a lot of boycott from the
Ripples, yes.
Hollywood, people, right? But the sound of freedom, sorry. And why is it not being discussed in Indian mainstream media channels, right? Why is the Indian mainstream media not discussing this hot topic?
Because it's the same happening in Bollywood.
Yes. So, but it is Hollywood. Why are they still not taking up this topic in their debates? Right? We have to wonder. And we all know, I mean, like, even I'm quite surprised that it's not a hot topic among even the right wing news channels like Republic TV as to why the sound of freedom is not being discussed, the controversy is not being discussed in news debates, at least, right? She's cute, seriously, one who smells, okay, lazy, but
Yeah,
who's the fuzzy Jodi of the Mintra brand? Okay,
yeah.
the first one was
That's what
obvious, but
Kangana
this one is
exposed.
such. Mintra is Kiara, right? If I remember, she's the one who's the brand ambassador from
No,
Mintra
not that.
brand.
This couple is saying that they own it. They're falsely saying that.
Oh, okay.
That's what Kangana is saying. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Now moving on to the next, I think you have something about actor Abbas.
Yeah. So, friends, if you're not aware, especially if you're from North India, I'm sure you're not aware of this particular actor. And he had some hit films. He's from the South Indian film industry. He has acted in Tamil films and also some Malayalam films. And he was made famous. His name is Abbas, and it was during the 90s. He had a hit film with Aishwarya Rai in which Mammootty also acted, Kandu Konde, Kandu Konde. And now, what is the latest with after he left films, right? Where is he right now? And now, actor Abbas, who was a romantic hero in Tamil film, has been absent from the film industry for 8 years. He chose to retreat from the limelight and settled in New Zealand alongside his family. Abbas experienced a rapid journey in the film world, and he had a subsequent decline. Within 9 years of the debut, he transitioned from lead roles in beloved Tamil films to taking on supporting characters. Now, apparently, things have not been going well, and following my initial achievements, some of my movies faced failure, leaving me financially destitute and unable to afford even basic necessities like rent or cigarettes. Initially, my pride prevented me from seeking alternative employment. However, I soon approached producer R.B. Chowdhury requesting work. He offered me opportunity to be part of the film Puyeli. However, I eventually left films because I got bored. I wasn't enjoying my work. I distinctly recall advising my friends who want to watch my Bollywood debut and apparently sharing that he has faced bankruptcy on four separate occasions. In order to provide for my family, I worked as a bike mechanic and I drove taxis in New Zealand. So, I mean, you can see, it is quite tragic from, at one point of time, he was doing well in the film industry, and after 8 years, he gave up on the film industry for some obvious reasons, which I don't think he is openly saying. Right? Why he's saying he is bored of films, and I don't. I think there's much to it. There must be some sort of hitch to it, right? Because you know how producers and directors are in the film industry, and so he became
So here
financially
also,
broke.
Jade, you will know that, see, they tried to make him a mental case. You remember? See, because he was saying that, see, I am generally a private person and rarely grant interviews. While I was living abroad, I did give a few interviews to certain media outlets. But unfortunately, my words were often misinterpreted. I frequently receive calls from fans inquiring about my potential comeback or expressing concerns about my well being. Some have even mentioned hearing rumors of my visit to a mental hospital or my passing away. Now that I have returned to India, it's best to address these matters and clear up any misunderstandings. Now, Abbas further revealed that he has never aspired to become an actor initially. However, following the release of Kadal Ardesham, he experienced an astonishing transformation into an overnight heartthrob. Reflecting on this change, he said, "One evening, I attended the premiere of the film as an ordinary guy, but the very next day, I couldn't even venture outside. I couldn't fathom why people were showering such immense love upon me. I was merely 19 at the time and had taken up the movie as a casual endeavor." Now, here, why I'm speaking about this, friends, is the same thing with, Rahul Roy. This man was shooting for a film, and he was also said to be a mental case. And then they said that he had a seizure, and he got a heart attack, and he couldn't speak. And now, see, there's another very vicious pattern that's happening. If you notice, you open your Facebook, you will see that. See, in the shots, Salman Khan shots, it will be seen that how generous is Salman Khan. The 5 or 10 times that he has donated money for different causes. Okay, so in that it is Rahul Roy's also is there. So this is also a motive to whitewash his bad deeds. So they are using people like guinea pigs, to make their character better. See, if he paid this money to Rahul Roy, 1.8 lakhs to the hospital, don't forget the fact that Rahul Roy was in Big Boss. And how, any people survive in Big Boss itself is a challenge, because they make everyone a nutcase. Some of them even die. Okay, so we do not know what goes on inside this thing. Allegedly, whatever happens within the four doors of Big Boss, we do not know. But it is not a safe environment. It is full of dirty language and dirty actions. So this is not a place for good people to go, and this is not a good program for children to watch. Is something I would say straightforward. You know. Okay, Maya says Abbas with his baby face must have faced casting couch just like Matt Lawrence, who has come out openly about an Oscar director propositioning him in a robe when he refused. His agency chucked him out. Amir Khan did the same to his brother. Yes, and Mahesh Bhatt did it to so many people.
Hariom,
Priya,
Priyaji.
welcome, Priya. I don't trust. He does not know to act. To be successful was too much. No good dancer or emotions trying to compete with Sushant's story. Yes, and then when you see it's happening only to Hindu actors. Have you seen any other actors being affected, except for one person, and that is the character actor Jaydev, who was very good. That's the only person we've heard of who also died, but they say with cancer. True India. Glad they're taking now. Bollywood is very controlling under Salman Khan, Mahesh Bhatt. Total boycott. Yes. No, he was not mental at all. He's a dear friend of mine. He was handsome
Okay.
and fit. After this strike, he's gone so old, and he can't talk properly. But yes, he's doing a bit of work. So there is something happening in his this thing also, because suddenly a woman who was a model appears as his sister, and she's supposed to be following Sanatana Dharma. I don't know which guru she has. And also she said that she got married recently. And if she's got married recently, then why did she take the role of a sannyasini? So these are very big doubts, okay? And then she's speaking to him as if he's a robo. She's filling all, whatever our questions are asked, maybe because he has a speech problem and she's speaking on his behalf. That could also be explained that way. But there is some strategy to milk this man who seems very innocent, as far as I'm concerned. His innocence comes out in every sentence, and we feel sad for him. Yes, Irfan Khan. Thank you, Maya. So that's the only person who's died, from any other religion. Yes, same with Faisal Khan. It's experimental on human body is what I see Bollywood is doing. Bollywood boycott, yes. Rahul Roy was dating a girl, Sadhna Singh, who is a friend from my social circle, but she ditched him now. Sad, yes. So these are things that's happening because they want to, use them in ways that suit them. Even when a NRI person who lives very close to Salman Khan said that he is not allowed to go to the temple, through Salman Khan's path, which is actually a public path. That itself shows how much they make people's lives difficult. You know, so these Bollywood actors, these superstars, are not to be trusted at all. So yeah, back to you, Jimmy.
So I would like to connect the dots even more. Is that one person in the chats asked why these things are coming up now? right? Why? I mean, we have seen that in the case of people like Somi Ali coming out exposing a lot of her horrible experiences
Grievances,
with
yes.
Salman Khan. And then you have seen Suchitra Krishnamurti also coming out in the open saying that she faced a lot of casting couch experiences. And you've seen many other actresses in Bollywood now coming forth and exposing their experiences with the casting couch, because this is the age of social media, and this is the age of podcast, and this is a time when Bollywood is down in the dumps, and this is the right time for people who have suffered in the past to come out in the open and expose these devils in
And
Bollywood.
also, yeah,
Yeah.
one more expose that Suchitra said was that Shekhar Kapoor was having an affair with Preeti Zinta. You know, earlier she did not reveal, and then later she revealed, and that's why she divorced him. So Bollywood is the most, where you have no character, immoral people who don't care about anybody, sleep with each other. So it's a very nasty society. Ma'am, one more victim of mafia is Nakul Kapoor. He's disappeared after only one film. Tumse Acha Kaun Hai. He was a very good looking and young boy. Okay.
We'll be doing a story on him soon, Nandaji. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, coming to the next piece of news, and this is Shah Rukh Khan doesn't stop at anything to catch some sort of publicity or news to himself, because as all of you know that his new film Jawan is coming, and he has to create the maximum hype to make that film a hit, just like the fake hit Patan was, which says it crossed 1,000 crores of box office business. So what is SRK's latest trick to catch media attention and public attention is that, as all of you know the cricket World Cup is happening this year, and the ICC, which is the International Cricket Council, has released a promo video for their tournament. And apparently, Shah Rukh Khan is seen promoting this ICC World Cup tournament with a 2 minute long video centered around the motto and tagline of the tournament. All it takes is one day. So he is trying to cash in on all avenues, be it films, be it cricket, and somehow trying to build that hype for his film Jawan, and that's how he is playing his game right now. Yes.
Yeah. So True Indian is saying, ma'am, any idea why Madhavan peeped into France meetup? Was there a message that tweeted or always on par with all country heads or more? I did not like it. Here, True Indian, I'd like to say that see that was the time, the day when Chandrayaan, satellite was going, Chandrayaan was going into space and to the moon, and they would have thought of it as an opportunity to introduce him as Nambi Narayan, who acted in the movie, and
Yes.
would have used just introduced him to the French, you know, heads to say that he had acted in that, and perhaps to give it a little bit more hype. The movie, because that movie is based on a very heroic experience of Nambi Narayan, and perhaps Modi ji wanted to use that. So that's would be my answer to you, True Indian. Seriously, the more I listen about Bollywood, my stomach is like, can't believe these druggy people had to find India to use and abuse and make that much sickness out of our culture, country, and life. Boycott druggy, yes. So I'm saying, I don't understand why are they chosen as ambassadors. So I think with this news we can end this session, Jerry.
Yeah,
And
I'll just like to add one more comment as to why Madhavan was invited by the French president. And because he played the role of Nambi Narayan, and Nambi Narayan was the ISRO scientist, and he acquired technology from the French for the Vikas engine used in the PSLV that India launched. And that's the reason why, France invited Madhavan, who played the role of Nambi Narayan.
yeah. So thank you, friends. I'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow we'll have Dr. a doctor addressing your issues at 7 p.m., and then the news bites as usual at 8 o'clock. So please join us for both the sessions tomorrow. Thank you, and good night, and Jai
Jai
Hind.
Hind.